Welcome to Thursday Night Football presented by Bud Light Platinum, and welcome to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis, Indiana, for the start of Week 9 in the NFL. It's the 2-5 New York Jets visiting the 3-5 Indianapolis Colts. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside the broadcast booth here at Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm Tamir Moore. Great to have all of you back with us. The Jets come in with a record of 2-5. They started the season 0-3, but they split their last 4 games. The Jets, of course, are coming off a surprising win last week to some against Cincinnati, 34-31. Coming into tonight's game, the Jets trail Buffalo by 3 games in the AFC East. And for Jets quarterback Mike White, he is the quarterback who has spurred and he has sparked lots of good talk around New York this week, as you might expect. But Mike White, though, is not a scrub. He's in his 4th year now out of Western Kentucky with a 5th-round draft choice by the Cowboys in 2018. And Mike White was brilliant, and he was so superlative last week against Cincinnati. Mike White, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a quarterback rating of 107.9. Pretty solid for first NFL start standards. And of course, he made that start last week in place of the injured Zach Wilson, the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft. He got hurt week 7 in their blowout loss at New England. Mike White will get a second NFL start tonight. He started his college career at South Florida, transferred to Western Kentucky. He was a 5th-round pick, like I said, back in 2018 by the Cowboys. Now here he is with the New York Jets. Excuse me. And Mike White ostentatiously had the respect of some of his teammates. Jets running back Ty Johnson said, quote, "He's a stud, man. Come on now, it's Mike White." Hey, take a look at the Jets pass rush this season, 17 sacks in 7 games. And so far, as far as quarterback hits are concerned, they are 11th in the tied for 11th in the NFL. As far as the Jets pass defense is concerned, it's pretty bad. 25th in the league with a rating of 102.9, and they've given up at least 270 yards per game on average. Now, you look at the rush defense this season, tied for 6th for yard per carry, so the Jets are in the top 10 in that category, 18th for yard per game. You look at the rookie running back for the Jets by the name of Michael Carter, who played his college ball at North Carolina last week in Cincinnati, 15 carry for 77-yard average, about 5 yards per carry, just a tick above 5 yards per carry, and he scored a touchdown. The Jets have allowed 22 sacks via their offensive line at 25th in the NFL. And Jamison Crowder had 8 receptions for 84 yards last week, the wide receiver for the Jets. And last week, the Jets compiled 511 yards of offense, 11 more in a game this season. Now, the Colts come in with a record of 3-5. They started the season 0-3, just like the Jets. The Colts have now won 3 of their last 5 games, coming off a heartbreaking loss last week against Tennessee here at Lucas Oil Stadium, 34-31. The Colts have now lost both games to Tennessee, week 3 and now week 8. But Indianapolis, this is a big game for them tonight because obviously if Indianapolis wants to start climbing their way back in this AFC picture, they have to win against a pretty bad team like the Jets here tonight. And the Titans have a 3-game lead over the Colts right now in the AFC South. Carson Wentz, the Colts quarterback, the former Eagle, last week, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks against Tennessee. Carson Wentz has thrown 14 touchdowns and has thrown 3 interceptions so far in 2021. Colts wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr., second-year man out of USC. He had 10 receptions for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns against Tennessee a week ago. The offensive line has only allowed 2 sacks the last 2 games, so Carson Wentz has had a pretty clean pocket. The offensive line has done their job blocking in front, and Carson Wentz has barely been touched. He's impenetrable at times. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor, who is a budding star in the National Football League. Taylor, now in his 2nd year from Wisconsin, has 6 touchdowns so far in the season. Jonathan Taylor, he might have a chance to finish at the league leader in rushing this year with Titans running back Derrick Henry now on the shelf, unfortunately, because of a foot injury. You look at the Colts rush defense versus Derrick Henry last week while Derrick Henry was playing, 68 yards they allowed him. You look at their pass defense last week, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 98.5 quarterback rating. That's against Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill. And you look at the Colts pass rush last week in Tennessee, 3 sacks and 5 quarterback hits. And for the Colts, 70 points off of 18 takeaways, which is most in the NFL this season, 4 ahead of the Cardinals and the Bucks. Colts rank 11th in the league in time of possession with 30 minutes and 45 seconds on average, and the Colts also are tied for the fourth fewest penalties, 39, with Atlanta and New Orleans, and the Colts are tied for the second best turnovers plus 8 in the NFL, with Green Bay. Only builds up a better turnover differential at 13. So it's the 2-5 Jets versus the 3-5 Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Carson Wentz versus Mike White, Braxton Berrios, Michael Carter, Quinnen Williams, and the New York Jets here at Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Should be fun tonight at 8:20 p.m. Eastern on Fox, NFL Network, and Amazon Prime Video. All right, Team, you're more. Thank you so much for watching tonight's preview of the Jets and Colts, and we'll see you Sunday afternoon to preview the big game between Jordan Love and the Packers and Patrick Mahomes and the defending two-time AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs.